Hey, Spilling the Sweet Tea fam, welcome back to my channel. It's day 7 of my 12 days of Christmas recipes with Spilling the Sweet Tea, and today we're making mini ham biscuits. Obviously, the key ingredient is hams. I got a ham steak that I'm just going to cube up and add into my biscuit dough. I realize that this ham is fully cooked, but baby, what I'm not going to do is put it right in my biscuit dough. I'm going to sear it a little bit. But because I'm making mini biscuits, I'm cutting up my ham into really small pieces. So into a hot skillet, all you want to do is add your cubed ham. Just sear it for a bit and then set it aside. I then chopped up some fresh scallions only because I didn't have chives. I'm glad I used what I had because scallions work really well in this recipe. Y'all know I am from North Carolina, and baby, when I say pimento cheese, it's something that we eat on a regular basis down south. So I'm getting all of my dicing done before I make my biscuits. So I'm just going to dice up a jalapeno to add to my pimento cheese. You want to dice up your jalapeno fairly small because once again, we're making mini biscuits. To get started on my biscuits, of course, I'm grabbing my Miss Lena's dough bowl. If this is your first video that you have seen from me, Miss Lena's is my food brand. I sell not only this dough bowl, but also biscuit mixes, buttermilk, and sweet potato. And I recently launched a cornbread mix. The dough bowl is a replica that I saw my mother use my entire childhood. And now you can get one on spillingthesweettea.com. So all you want to do is just open up your buttermilk biscuit mix by Miss Lena's and add it to your bowl. The package instructions call for Crisco, but because I'm going to roll out these biscuits, I'm going to use a stick of frozen butter. And baby, when I tell you this butter was hard as a rock, I almost hurt my knuckle on it. When my mother, Shirley Mae, would make biscuits, she would use Crisco because she would hand roll her biscuits. She wouldn't roll them out and cut them out. But because I want my biscuits to stand up a little bit, I am using frozen butter. I'm also using this rotary grater that I absolutely love. I got it on the TikTok shop. It's sold out on Amazon, but you can get it on the TikTok shop. So if you go to my TikTok profile and look at one of my pinned videos, you'll see the video where I'm using this grater, and you can buy the grater directly from the video. It is one of my favorite kitchen gadgets. I love that the mouth of it is larger than the one that went viral a couple of years ago. I have that one as well, but the butter will always get stuck. So this one is perfect. It just flows right out of the grater. Easy peasy. Baby, when I tell you there is no butter left in this grater, it works so well. Get you one. Once you have your butter in your bowl, all you want to do is make sure your butter is coated with your biscuit mix. Leave no pieces of butter left behind. Make sure it's well coated. After you have everything mixed together, you want to add in your ham that you set aside. By this time, your ham should be cold. You don't want to add any hot ham into this biscuit dough. Now add in your scallions. Give it a good mix, and then I'm also going to add some freshly grated cheese. I'm using Kobe Jack cheese, but any type of cheese is fine. Once you give everything a good mix, the next thing you want to do is make a well in the middle of your biscuit bowl. Now I'm showing you guys the Shirley Mae way. That was my mom. This is how she would always make her biscuits. She would make a well, and then she would add her buttermilk into that well. And this is how she would use the bowl. She would slowly pull her flour from the sides of the bowl into the center. I'm speeding it up a little bit because I don't want this video to be too long, but you can see how I'm slowly pulling the flour or the biscuit mix into the center of the bowl to mix it with the buttermilk. Maybe I don't know if she saw my grandma Mitty make her biscuits like this. I really don't know, but this is how I saw her always make her biscuits. And she would always use a fork. She would never use her hands until the end, but she would always mix everything with a fork just like this. And that's why I do it to this day. As you can see, my dough is starting to form. I added a little bit more buttermilk because it seemed a little bit dry. When you make biscuits with things added in like ham and cheese, you want to make sure you have enough buttermilk. I use exactly 1 cup. If you need a little bit more, that's fine. Now you see me working the biscuit dough with my hands. I don't want to overwork it because I am going to roll it out and fold it over several times to make my biscuits. Baby, that dough is perfect. Now all you want to do is set it aside and add some flour to your working surface. And yes, I clean my counters. I know somebody gonna be in my comments and be like, oh my God, did you clean your counters? Yes, my counter is clean. After you have floured your surface, you just want to add your biscuit dough onto the surface like this, and make sure you go ahead and wash out your biscuit bowl. You don't want this dough to harden in your bowl. You want to wash it off according to the care instructions that I provide when you order the bowl. Not only do you want to flour your surface, you also want to flour your rolling pin. So once you have your rolling pin floured, you just want to start rolling out your biscuits just like this. And now you want to fold them 1, 2 times. Now turn it and repeat that step. If you feel like you need to add more flour to your surface, do so. You don't want your biscuit dough sticking to anything, not the counter or the rolling pin, so make sure everything is floured really well. If you have to add more flour, add it. It's not a problem. Now you see me rolling it out again. I'm not going to roll my biscuits out too thin. You just want to roll them out about an inch thick. And then repeat that step. Fold the dough twice and then turn it. This is what's going to create layers. You see the layers we're building in these biscuits? No matter what size you cut your biscuits, you want them to be nice and flaky and have nice layers. These biscuits are going to be flaky and have lots of layers because I use frozen butter, and also my buttermilk was really cold. It may look like a lot, but it's not. Once you learn the technique of making biscuits, you will not buy another Pillsbury Grands a day in your life. It just takes practice. I watched my mama make biscuits my entire childhood, and it wasn't until I got grown and I wanted to try to make them myself. The first couple pans, baby, came out like boulders. When I tell you rocks, that's how they came out. But since I've been practicing, making biscuits are easy peasy. Plus, I have the biscuit mix for you guys. So all you have to do is add your milk and your butter, and that's it. So making biscuits is so much easier, and they're better for you than using the stuff that's in the can out the grocery store. My mom's homemade biscuits was one of the key memories on a plate that I still have to this day. If you follow me, I have shown y'all the picture several times of my mother in her red robe making her biscuits. Baby, look at the layers that I have built in these biscuits. These biscuits are about to be so good. Baby, every Saturday or Sunday morning, my mother would make a pan of her homemade biscuits. And because of that childhood memory is the reason why I started Miss Lena's. Miss Lena's is based on the essence of my childhood and the memories on a plate that my mother created for me. I feel like food and music evoke so many memories for so many people. I know I can hear a song and remember where I heard it and what I loved about the song and the memory of that time. And I do the same thing with food. There is nothing like the pain of losing a parent. I miss my mother and my father so very much. So I cook all the time to cope, honestly, with their passing. I'm grateful for all the times I spent in the kitchen with my mom. So now I can replicate the dishes that she made for me. And I'm now making those dishes for my daughter, and hopefully one day she'll make them for her family. The other blessing is that I started this journey 4 years ago as a food content creator, just sharing stories about my mother's recipes. I had no idea at the time that I would start a food brand. I had no idea at the time I would write a cookbook. I just really was just vibing in the kitchen and sharing with you guys the food I grew up on. All right, so back to the tutorial. After you've rolled and folded your biscuits at least 3 times, get your biscuit cutter. Make sure it's floured, and you just want to cut out your biscuits. When you cut out your biscuits, you want to go straight down. You do not want to twist your cutter. Go straight down. Mine twisted a little bit there, but you definitely want to make sure you're going straight down. Because when you go straight down and you don't twist the biscuit cutter, your biscuits will rise properly in the oven. See how that one just popped right out? That's what you're looking for. Sometimes it's tough because I have cubed ham in my biscuit dough. This is why I try to cut my ham really small, because I knew once I started cutting my biscuits, it could be a problem if those pieces of ham were too big. Look how cute this little mini biscuit is. You just want to continue cutting your biscuits. Because my biscuit cutter is so small, it's going to take me a little bit longer than it normally does. I think these little mini biscuits would be perfect for like a holiday party, or if you wanted to serve them as an appetizer. Baby, when I have holiday parties, you get just bites, okay? I don't serve large quantities of food. I like serving small bites, so these mini ham biscuits are perfect. And you can make these ahead. If you want to make these in the morning and set them aside, you can certainly do that and bake them before your guests come, maybe an hour before your guests come. So once you've cut out as many biscuits as you can from that batch, all you want to do is do the same process all over again. I knead my dough again because you want the top of your biscuits to be smooth. You don't want them to have any cracks in them. So knead the dough a little bit and fold it over once. So when you fold it over and roll it out for that last time, the top of the biscuits are smooth. Because if you cut them out and the tops are not smooth, you won't get perfectly baked biscuits. And baby, you know Southern women want to have perfection, especially if they're serving it at a holiday party. So you can see that I'm smoothing out the top of my dough. You can see that there's no splits or anything in the top of my dough. Now I'm going to cut out the remaining biscuits. Again, how stinking cute are these biscuits? They're like 2 bites. They're perfect for a holiday party. Once again, you want to flour your cutter and go straight down into your biscuit dough and cut out the remaining bit of biscuits. You don't have to put cheese in this biscuit dough. When I thought about it, I was just like, I'm serving it with pimento cheese. I don't need to put cheese in the dough. But to me, you can't have enough cheese. So I added just like a handful of cheese into my biscuits. I love cheese. It really is one of the things that I love the most. So I just added some cheese, but you don't have to add it. You can just add the ham and the scallions into your dough, especially if you're serving this with pimento cheese. All right, we're doing it again. We have cut out all the biscuits we can cut out from that batch. We just have to knead it again, roll it out again, so we have that smooth top. Baby, waste not, want not. You have to do this as many times as possible to get as many biscuits as you want out of this dough. So I'm kneading it again, rolling it out again, and I'm going to just cut out the remaining biscuits I can from this amount of dough. Last year at my holiday party, I made sweet potato biscuits and I served them with ham inside. I love bringing pieces of my culture to a dinner party that I'm having. If you guys follow me, you know that I live in Maryland, but I was born and raised in Eastern North Carolina. So yeah, baby, we're gonna have some crab dip here at the party, but we're also going to have a piece of my culture and a little bit of Southern tradition. And I can't think of anything more Southern than biscuits and pimento cheese. A lot of my friends are from the South, but I also have friends that are from the Midwest or from the Northeast, and they've never had biscuits. They've never had pimento cheese. So when they come to my house, they get to enjoy some dishes that I love and that I grew up on. I think the next time I have a holiday party, I want to do some chopped barbecue with some cornbread sliders. In Eastern North Carolina, chopped barbecue is a staple. The barbecue is made on a pit. I don't have a pit, but I do have a crock pot. And I have made Eastern North Carolina barbecue before, and it turned out great. All right, y'all. Y'all can see I'm at the end. I'm almost at the end of this biscuit dough. Like I said earlier, I'm going to use this biscuit dough until it's gone. I'm not going to waste any dough. So, of course, I'm going to roll it up, and I think I can get one more biscuit out of this remaining dough. Because, baby, waste not, want not. It is 2024. We not wasting no food. I thought I was done. I cut out one more, and I was like, I can get one more out of this dough. These biscuits did not go to waste. I shared some with my neighbor. My husband had some. My daughter had some. Everybody enjoyed these biscuits. And because they're so small, you could have 2 or 3. You were just eating a normal size biscuit. All right, this is the last one. This is the amount of dough I have left, and this is the amount of dough that's going in the trash because no other biscuit can be made. I am baking my biscuits in Chef Tam's cast iron skillet. I have the entire Chef Tam collection. So if you're looking for amazing cast iron cookware, definitely check her out. Look how beautiful this cast iron pan is. I just oiled it a little bit. I didn't have any Crisco, so I just used a little bit of oil to oil the bottom of my pan. I love the rich red color that's on the bottom. It's absolutely beautiful. Now all you want to do is just place your biscuits in your pan. This pan was not big enough, so I had to put some on a baking tray. But I just wanted to add all of my biscuits, as many as I could, into my cast iron pan. You want to bake these on 450 until they're nice and golden brown. I'm going to top my biscuits with a little bit of buttermilk. You can also use egg wash if you want. It really depends on you. I just had a little bit of buttermilk left over, so I just topped my biscuits with a little bit of buttermilk to help them brown in the oven. To make the homemade pimento cheese, you're going to need some sliced pimento, some cream cheese, some mayo, and some cheddar cheese. Add your cream cheese to a bowl. Then you want to add a 1/4 cup of mayo. I'm using Duke's, of course. It's the mayo of the South. You then want to add in those finely chopped jalapeños to your mixture. I season with salt, pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, and a little bit of cayenne pepper for a kick. The last thing you want to add is some finely diced pimentos. I chopped up a few tablespoons. It's really up to you how many pimentos you want in your pimento cheese. Now add in your finely diced pimentos. And the last ingredient you're going to need is some freshly grated cheese. I'm using hoop cheese. Hoop cheese is a mild southern cheese. You can get it in any Piggly Wiggly, IGA, Food Lion. I've seen it in Kroger in southern states. If you can't find hoop cheese, any cheddar cheese will do. It doesn't matter. I'm using hoop because I had some hoop in my refrigerator. All you want to do is use that same cheese grater that I love and freshly grate your cheese right into your mixture. Once you have your cheese grated up, all you want to do is just mix everything really well. I forgot how much I love pimento cheese until I started making homemade pimento cheese. It's so good with fresh veggies as well. Now that my biscuits are out of the oven, I'm just going to melt some butter and add some butter to the top of my biscuits. Once your biscuits are buttered, this is how they should look fresh out the oven. Fabulous. Look at all the layers that are in these mini biscuits. These were so good. I'm glad I added that handful of cheese because you can see the cheese popping through in the biscuits. And that's it. That's all. You have made homemade pimento cheese and mini ham, scallion, and cheese biscuits. Add your pimento cheese to any dish that you're going to serve it in, and look at these flaky biscuits. Oh my God, they were so good. Look at the layers. Absolutely delicious. You don't need a lot of this pimento cheese, just a little bit will do. But the flavors together with the biscuit and this pimento cheese is absolutely a 10 out of 10. Spilling the sweet tea approved for sure. To get your Miss Lena's biscuit mix and biscuit bowl, head to my website, spillingthesweettea.com. There are several holiday bundles that are available on my website. When I tell you have to make these mini ham and scallion biscuits for your holiday party, you honestly can't get more southern than this combination. And I'm eating them out of my cute Lennox holiday plate. Baby, this combo right here was some kind of good. Thank you for watching my video. If you haven't done so already, make sure to subscribe to my channel and turn your notifications on so you don't miss my next video. These biscuits were so good and we're definitely spilling the sweet tea approved. Knocked it out the damn park.